Welcome, everyone. We are here at the Midnight Release Podcast. You may notice that you are currently looking at me instead of just listening to me, unless you are listening to me, which that is also fine. But this is Chase, currently sitting here and getting ready to sit down with another content creator to discuss our first episode. We mentioned in our last episode that 2026 was going to bring some different kinds of content, including some video content. That is what we're going to be doing here today in a format that I like to refer to as 0.5 episodes. So we have 11 episodes behind us so far, and episode 1, which was Midnight at Gamestop, where Austin and I talked about midnight release memories. Yes, some of them were employment, but some were consumers. So we're going to do a 0.5 episode on that, where we're going to talk with another creator and ask some questions, kind of an interview style, but also the same way Austin and I do, except it's going to be with someone that I don't already have history with. And we're going to talk through some of those memories around Midnights at GameStop, and basically a little bit of a shorter episode, probably 30 to 40 minutes or so. But we are meeting with Tim at the Small Time Arcade Cast today, and we're going to go ahead and pivot this transition over to that discussion. And this will be available both in audio and in video, depending on where you plan on viewing it. But this is going to be something that we're going to continue doing with each episode. They won't be released on a cadence. It's just going to be based on when we can coordinate with other creators. But this one's going to be 1.5, looking at the Midnight at GameStop episode. Then our next collaboration and video will be episode 2.5 that focuses on the console wars. That being said, let's go ahead and jump over and have this conversation with Tim, the Small Time Arcade Cast. All right, so as mentioned, the Midnight Release is now doing some 0.5 episodes. This is going to be episode 1.5, where we talked previously in episode 1 about our Midnight release experiences when Austin and I spoke about it. Yes, some of it was GameStop specific, but it was still about our experiences. But with these 0.5 episodes, we're going to be doing this video style format and going to be collaborating with additional creators. And today we are joined by Tim with the Small Time Arcade Cast. I'm going to pass it to Tim to kind of run through, tell us a little bit about himself, do a little introduction, and then I'll kind of explain what we're going to get into. Tim, go right ahead, my man.
What's going on, Chase? Thanks for having me out here, guys. Tim here with the Small Time Arcade. You might see me on TikTok, YouTube. I am your gamer, nerd, pop culture enthusiast. I love all things Disney, and well, you know.
I think we can tell by looking behind you a little bit. Yeah.
Back here, right? Got my cabinets. This is where my Small Time Arcade comes in. It's just I've been a gamer my whole life, been a nerd my whole life. Now we're mainstream, right? I don't
exactly.
know. I was a nerd when it was niche.
See, and now it's if you don't like it, you're not cool, you know. So it's
yeah,
just totally
now you're
different.
not cool if you're not a nerd. Yeah, I remember when Revenge of the Nerds was something. No, but aside from that, guys, where I don't even know where to start. Husband, new father, gamer, content creator. I'm happy to be here. I love the show. I remember when you done your post that you're gonna start the Midnight Release podcast. I was all for it, and I'm happy to see we're 11 episodes deep now.
It will be on Tuesday. Yep, you're gonna have a fresh episode to watch on Monday night.
That's exactly
or
what
listen to.
I live for these stuff. So, but I mean, guys, I'm just happy to be here. Chase, thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
here.
glad to have you with us. I very much appreciate you taking the time to come on and chat. And really, what we're going to be doing is, ideally, these won't be on a cadence per se, but what we're going to do is these kind of 0.5 styles. And Tim and I have been chatting here for a little while, so we are probably going to see a lot more of Tim if I have my way about it. But we're going to be looking at our episode topics, and then this 0.5 is going to be having the same conversation, but with someone else. So since we talked about midnight releases and our experiences during those, that is what we're going to cover today. So, Tim, if you are ready, we'll go ahead and jump into some of these questions, and you can tell us about some of your experiences.
Absolutely. I'm ready.
All right. We're going to start off strong. What was the first midnight release that you experienced?
Well, the first midnight release that I experienced was Halo 2.
Oh, same as
Halo 2. But I forget on yours. I went to Toys R Us. for mine. I was with a buddy,
Okay.
and in Stockton, I mean, for a bit, I believe we had EB Games. We had not really GameStop. We had Hollywood Video, Game Crazy, and Toys R Us was the main thing, right? So, and I don't count this so much as my first midnight release, but I remember before Halo 2, when Pokemon Red and Blue came out, there was an event, and they did a midnight event for Pokemon Red and Blue, and it was where you could get Mew. And you had the cards, and my dad woke me up for this and said, "We're gonna go." Was
this the little ancient Mew card?
Yes. Well, no, that was for Pokemon 2000. This was an event where you would trade your Pokemon. It was an event in Toys R Us. You got these cards, so you waited in line, and once you got to the register, they'd scratch off your card, and it would say you either got a Mew or you didn't. And so when I went in for the first round, I didn't get my Mew card, and young me being a super Pokemon fan, I was in tears. I was like, what, 8 or 9? My dad's like, no, we're going to get back in line. We're going to run it again. So we got back in line. A couple people left. We're like, I'm not waiting for this. So you can have our cards. And then when we got to the register, I think it was like 4 cards I had at the time because my dad got one, I got one, and we took some from some other people that left. All 4 of them had Mew. And I was like, oh my God. So
wow,
we traded them out. We got to do the trade with the Toys R Us employees, and I was rocking 4 Mews for Pokemon Red and Blue. So
wow,
technically that would be my first midnight event. But as far as games go, I went with a buddy of mine growing up. We went for Halo 2, and I remember my parents had this on the news. They were talking about how crazy it was. And like, what is this? Like, should you even be going to any of these? I'm like, I like it. It's cool. It's Halo. And they're like, but it's violent. I'm like, right. You let me see South Park bigger, longer, and uncut. Like, what difference does it make?
Yeah, like, a mature Halo game or South Park, and totally different. Totally different.
Come on now. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say it on the cast. I don't know about censors right now, but like,
no, you're good.
Kyle's mom, the Uncle Effers, like I was singing that in 4th grade, and nobody had a problem with it. I don't think you have a problem with me shooting some Covenant aliens.
Exactly. Now, did you, when you got Halo 2, did you get the regular version or did you get the Silver Steelbook version?
Silver Steelbook all the way. Still got it.
Do you? I was going to ask if you still had it.
Is it worth something?
I was looking, so I just moved a bunch of my physical media and stuff like that, and they had some listed on Mercari that were sealed for a couple $100. Oh, and open were like 100, 150. But
see, well, I don't like getting rid of my stuff, right? Like I like to.
If I had my way, I wouldn't either. So I understand, like for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everything in hindsight, like, look, even I had a Pokemon card collection. I had my first print Charizard, and I see what they're going for now, and I see what the Pokemon card game looks like now, that market and the scalpers and everything. I was like, oh my God, dude. I could have retired already.
Oh, man, I have content, I make it a point to live life with no regrets, but I do very much regret moving and giving away my Pokemon card collection. Because, I mean, you're right. You look at some of the values of these things now, and you're right. If we would have kept this stuff, we could retire, like straight up.
I could have had 50 bands off Charizard alone.
Easy.
Because I took great care of it. I know that the PSA is a thing, but mind you, when I was growing up, I had the binders with the plastic cases, with the slips in the plastic case. Like, there's no way I could look at my card and be like, it's nothing less than like a 9. Oh, yeah. At least. Like, all my stuff would have been spotless PSA graded cards. But just, between living in Stockton from California and then going down to work in Anaheim at Disney and then back to Stockton and back to Disney, like, there's probably games in my collection that isn't my first time owning it. I've had to buy stuff, for my favorite series. I've had to buy my games several times, even import my games several times. I grew up with one of my favorite games, Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. I imported that back in 2007 because they had the PS2 version of Chain of Memories. And that was like my holy grail imported item. And then when I had moved to Disney and I had to find a way back to Stockton, I had to sell off my collection. So I've sold off that one. And I had to come back.
Weren't the PS2s region locked, though? How were you able to play
They were. So I had this disc. So it was weird. It was weird. I don't remember the name of the disc, but I do remember that I had to take one of my credit cards, or like it was like a leftover one, and I had to cut it. And it was so weird. Like, there was a latch. So you pulled off the faceplate for the disc tray of the PS2, and you slide the card in. Once you put this disc in, it was supposed to like do some weird thing. It kind of acted like it unlocked your PlayStation. It was like a US disc. But so you'd boot it, you take your card, you slide it into the disc tray, and you would hook the latch, and you'd pull the tray out with the card. Then you swap the discs, and then you push it in, and you hit boot, and that would bring up your Japanese games. So I was playing all kinds of Japanese games, but while they were still over there, mind you.
Like, well, and I didn't know. You said there was a Chain of Memories on PS2?
Yes. So it's part of the collection
know that.
now. Well, I was a Game Boy Advance, right? It was for 2004, between Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2.
Yeah.
My favorite series, guys, if I get carried away with Kingdom Hearts, I'll make it quick. But in Japan, when Final Mix came out for Kingdom Hearts 2 in like 2006, they bundled it with Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, which is the PS2 remake of the original Game Boy game that had voice acting, it had all the cutscenes, and it just made it fully 3D. And I was like, okay, I'm juiced. I'm like, so when do we get that? And we didn't have a release date for it. So they sent that game, and I'm like, fuck, I have to play this. So I imported it, and I beat it. And then by 2008, it was November 2008, because I remember I got it from Hollywood Video or Game Crazy. But they did a standalone release of Chain of Memories. And I mean, that could kind of lead into an obscure release, but it wasn't a midnight. Kingdom Hearts never got the midnight release treatment.
Well, I was funny because one of the questions was like, what obscure game did you attend a midnight for? And I feel Kingdom Hearts is obviously phenomenal. But I guarantee, and I remember working at GameStop, like we did midnight releases. I don't think we did on the first two.
No, but
not
then, even for.
But I think for 358 Days Over 2 we did, and I think Birth by Sleep we did. I was gone before Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, but that would be an obscure midnight release if they had done one. But
never out here, because I remembered for 358 over 2 days and Birth by Sleep, I waited outside the GameStop in the morning.
Okay,
I waited out there at like 8 in the morning. I was the first one in the morning. I got so many GameStop stories just for Kingdom Hearts alone. Just for Kingdom Hearts. So,
and I just now realized, we talked about your arcade cabinets. I just now realized you got a couple Keyblades back there.
I got a dozen, but they're all kind of like in the corner. So I don't have room for them. I got my main one here. I got a couple on the wall that are signed.
Oh, yep. I see some more over there. Yeah.
Yep. Those ones are my signed Keyblades. I got, Brett Iwin, the voice of Mickey, Bill Farmer, the voice of Goofy, and Tony Anselmo, the voice of Donald Duck, as well as Quentin Flynn, the voice actor for, and you know him from Metal Gear, but I know him as Axel, and I also know him as Raiden. I got him to sign my Keyblade.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. So that's legit.
That's one of my treasures, right? So
that's fair.
But I got a dozen Keyblades. They're just all laying around. I got some Kingdom Hearts posters
awesome.
Man. But yeah, as far as midnight releases with Kingdom Hearts, I hadn't seen it until Kingdom Hearts 3. And
it probably wasn't. I mean, by that time, I think Midnights had really started to simmer down, so it probably wasn't a massive event or crowd or anything like that.
It's funny. So here's a funny story. I waited years for Kingdom Hearts 3, and I know if you have any Kingdom Hearts fans, they'll tell you the road to Kingdom Hearts 3 is 2013 to 2019. They want to say it's from 2006 to 2019. Those aren't the real ones, because they didn't start production until 2013. We had plenty to feed us until then. We had Dream Drop Distance until 2012.
Yeah.
We had 1.5 in 2013, 2.5 in 2014. The 1.5, 2.5s. We had 2.8. We had the story so far. Plenty to feed us until 2019.
Yeah,
but
there was a lot of content, but yeah, I guess between 2 and 3, it was a big gap though.
There's a big gap, but I mean, if you were solely a numbered entry person, if you played 1, 2, and 3, you would jump from 2 to 3 and go, "Who the fuck are half of these people?" Sorry for my language here.
No, the lore of Kingdom Hearts is probably one of the most complex stories of any series I've ever played.
I could definitely go on for hours about Kingdom Hearts, buddy. If you ever want a simplified run, I can give you a simplified run for that. But no, the Midnight story for 3, mind you, I've waited years for it, and I had it pre-ordered. I had it locked in. I actually have a sad story with GameStop regarding 3, because there was a time when GameStop partnered up with Disney and Square Enix to do the PS4, that limited edition PS4 Pro with the Kingdom Hearts 3 bundle, right? We had pre-orders opening up online, but they said that you had to go in store. So when I went, I had to do the online thing. That wasn't available. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll go in store and I'll pre-order the console inside my GameStop. It was a Weberstown, or not Weberstown, College Square GameStop. And I go to pre-order in the store, and pre-orders aren't here for the store. You can't do it in store. You got to go online. As soon as I go online, it was live. Consoles were gone.
Yeah.
I'm like, like you could have handled that better.
Yeah, and I feel like the in-store situation. No, I bet they had pre-orders. I bet the staff did it. Like that. That sounds totally, because those things are so limited. That sounds like the staff did all the pre-orders. So no, they don't have any pre-orders.
Oh, see, killed me because I looked at that console. I still don't have it to this day. For a Kingdom Hearts fan, it's disappointing. But that like leather finish, the design on the PlayStation 4, like, oh man, if I could, I'll probably get it. But you know, at the same time, it's just gonna sit and collect dust at this point. And I'm like one of those guys that I'll use it. So I don't know. We'll see if I ever get to owning that. We'll go.
Yeah, just wait till whenever the PlayStation 6 comes out. By then, that's 2 generations old. It probably won't, be much more affordable by then.
We'll see, man. We'll see. But yeah, for Kingdom Hearts 3, I was actually stuck in Vegas. That was my big thing. I had pre-orders.
You say California. Stuck in Vegas like that's a bad thing.
I was working in Vegas.
Oh, so okay.
That's understood. Yeah. My career, I was working there. So this was 2018. I had been or 2019. So it was January. I had been stuck from 2018 to 2019. I had been in Vegas for a total of 10 months. So for the first half of 2018, I was stuck there working on the Raiders Stadium. And then in 2019, I was stuck for the first 5 months working on the MSG Sphere. And so, mind you, I got pulled away. And I wanted to do my streams. I was streaming then. I wanted to stream Kingdom Hearts 3. I was so juiced, but I got yanked, and we stayed at this Residence Inn hotel. I had no internet, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm not only not going to stream, but my pre-orders are in Stockton. I had pre-ordered Kingdom Hearts 3 for the PS4 and the Xbox One. I wanted every version of that game.
Oh, I get that. So, I always did that with Metal Gear once it started hitting multiple consoles.
Multi-platform, you get it for every platform, right?
100%.
My wife ended up picking up my games in Stockton, but I pre-ordered it in Vegas that night. And I did a midnight premiere for Vegas for Kingdom Hearts 3 at that GameStop. I still have my photo holding my Kingdom Hearts 3. And mind you, dude, that was like the end of an era. And we have so many of those, right? But that was the end of that. Like the road to Kingdom Hearts 3, we finally hit it. Finally did it. Finally got to boot it up. Loved it. And now it's been, we got a couple games after that, but since 2022, it's been about 4 years, and the only thing I got was a cancellation of Missing Link and no news for Kingdom Hearts 4.
Nothing. I'm still shocked that we haven't gotten something. I
know.
Square has been pretty tight-lipped about anything that's not Final Fantasy VII.
I know. I think they're going to finish the trilogy before we get Kingdom Hearts 4.
Exactly.
It's funny. I think I had gotten into it with somebody on Twitter about that, and they're like, they went hardcore on me. They're like, no, you're being an idiot. They're going to finish the Final Fantasy VII trilogy before Kingdom Hearts 4. I'm like, dude, we only had Remake, and you still got Rebirth, and then this other one to come out. Like, we got hope. It's like, give up your hope. And you know what? It kind of stings now.
Yeah.
You were right.
Yep. No, I do think. I think we'll get whatever the third one's going to be before we get another Kingdom Hearts, which is awful. But now,
that is cool.
Final Fantasy VII, I can get it. People are obsessed with it. It's not one of my favorites, but I can appreciate the hype behind it.
And I'm fully invested now after Rebirth, so now I have to finish that before I get to 4. I get it, guys. We'll finish Final Fantasy VII.
I need to finish Rebirth. I haven't yet.
Dude,
but it's on my list for the backlog is like everybody. I just gotta finish it. All right, so first Midnight, so Pokemon kind of, but then Halo 2, our first game.
Halo 2 was it. That was it.
What would you say is your most memorable? Like it was a vibe. It was something that has stuck with you, as far as a game that came out at midnight.
Here's a good story time. So I'll tell you that the most memorable midnight I've ever worked would have been that I ever participated in was the one that I worked. My most memorable midnight is my one that I worked at GameStop.
Perfect. Perfect.
It was my first one. So I left working for Disney in 2013. I had my dad pass away, so I had to do something. I came up here for the holidays, and one thing that Disney taught me was hospitality, right? So I walk into a GameStop, and they're like, okay, well, what do you bring to the table? I'm like, I bring hospitality because they're not customers. They're guests. Yep. You're in our home. and I was able to sell them on the pre-orders, your gameplay protection, your gameplay was it game protection guarantees?
Yeah, gameplay
GPGs,
guaranteed, GPGs,
gameplay guarantees,
PRPs,
your power up reward membership to get your physical Game Informers. Like I sold the dude the pen without having to write it on paper. Right? I was like, I got it. So they took me on like that. I went in, and my first midnight launch was Assassin's Creed Black Flag and Battlefield 4. So that was October 29th. And I'll show you. It's gonna be funny because the way I'm gonna show my screen
those were PS4. Those were PS4 launch titles, or
they
maybe
were.
Yeah. So was it the console launch too?
No, the console launched 2 weeks later.
Gotcha.
I'll show you because. So here you go. Already, I don't know if it's gonna look good on my camera here, but if you look, there's me, 2013.
Yes.
With the PS4 peripherals with Assassin's Creed Black Flag. That's one thing I noticed too. And I looked at my picture. I was going through them because I'm like, it's on my Facebook. But actually, I'll show you too. My little sleeve, this little fake tattoo sleeve, had the Black Flag, and I covered it with my Call of Duty Ghost.
Was that one of those like skin flesh color things?
It was. So that was my first event. I still have my collector's edition Assassin's Creed. I got the Edward Kenway statue.
Yes.
Got it. So, but my buddy has that at his house right now because I have that at his house. I have my Watchdog collector's edition at his house, and I have my Kingdom Hearts 1.5 poster that I got in Anaheim when they did their launch party. But with this midnight release, it was epic. I remember the advertisements constantly playing. I think it was Drake that started from the bottom for Black Flag.
Like they're playing that.
Yep. From the bottom now, like all throughout GameStop. We had Red Bulls galore, and I felt like if you ever watched Yes Man with Jim Carrey when he comes out the car in the morning, he's all Red Bull. Like
so you all had the Red Bull reps also, like just giving out free Red Bull all the time.
Yes, and mind you, I think I'd probably drank 7 to 10 of those at night. And they're little 8 ounces until you realize you're just like, Black Flag, get it. And I noticed looking at my pictures that we did have the peripherals up early. And I noticed that between generations for PlayStation, right? At least for PS4, I had the controller before the console. Like they didn't have those street dated for some reason, I don't think. Or they did, but you could get it early. So I could sit there and hold a DualShock 4 and like look at it and like, oh well, I can't wait. I
do remember about the PS5 was the exact same way because I remember getting my controller before the console.
Right, and it's so weird, but yeah, I saw that and I was like, dude. But the vibe there for that night and all the Assassin's Creed fans, like, because that was kind of the end too, right? With the Desmond Miles trilogy, right? You kind of wrapped up his story. I mean, being honest, it wasn't my favorite. 3 was not my favorite. It did not sit well with me after I had gone through the trilogy for Ezio, right? You had 2 Brotherhood and Revelations, and you were just on a high note. And then you're supposed to finish the story with Desmond, and it didn't hit. And I'm like, okay. And so we get to Black Flag, and oh my God, it was like just a rebirth of the franchise for me. It just being it was like the best pirate game.
Yeah, and I don't think we had this conversation yet, but what Assassin's Creed, when you think about, or maybe we did have this conversation, I can't remember, but what is your favorite Assassin's Creed of the whole series?
It's probably going to be Black Flag. Flag.
Yes.
I mean, Black Flag followed by 2, and
that checks out. Yeah.
I could even go as far as saying I like Valhalla. I like Valhalla for different reasons, but I'm a big fan of the Viking era. So mind you, I got some Norwegian blood. I mean, I think I rock my chain.
There you go.
Got my Mjolnir, and for the gamers, I don't know if you recognize this, or is it on this side? Is it on this side? No, it's on this side. Is it? Can you see it? Let me see. I don't know. I don't know if you...
Is it from? I mean, I feel like I might be having a cop out. Is it from God of War?
Go. Yes, it is. That's Atreus's thing.
That's legit.
It's the runes. It's this calm mind, steady aim. Atreus neck tats. And I'm like, okay, but like I had a phase. I was playing God of War, the Valhalla area. I was playing or watching Vikings. I was so into it. And I had done my 23andMe, my DNA ancestry, and I'm like, oh, I'm like 38% Norwegian. I'm like, oh, these are my people. So it might be a bias that I like Valhalla, and I'm over here like, oh yeah, we're going on raids. But like, I mean, it's weird. So 2 was one of my favorites. The Ezio, I could even like just bundle up Brotherhood and Revelations, I think, because Ezio Auditore's story is my favorite, right? Edward Kenway I loved. And then we get to Unity, and that one kind of fell off because I think they try to prioritize the gimmick of multiplayer, which sounds great on paper, but they didn't execute it well.
Well, in that era, everyone started trying to add multiplayer and stuff. Uncharted was trying to add multiplayer. You know, I mean, everyone kept trying to add multiplayer, and most of those didn't stick.
And I think Rogue, it came out at the same time as Unity, right? But they locked that in on PS3, I think, right?
Yep.
Versus PS4.
Yep.
And I was like, Rogue was the better entry. Like, what happened? So, and then you push into Syndicate, and Syndicate was like the last one where I'm like, I like the characters. I like Jacob and Evie.
Yeah, that was, I was going to say Jacob and Evie, yeah.
Like, I just kind of tuned out, though. After that was over, I'm like, okay. And then they brought in Origins, and then they changed Assassin's Creed, and they made it more RPG-based, and you added all these elements that kind of just changed the format of Assassin's Creed. And I'm like, okay. And I got into it. I loved Egypt. That was a great setting. I loved the origin story. And then you got to Odyssey.
Right. That was.
And I fell off again. Yeah. And I was like, God dang it. And then he got on.
They got to be too much for me. Like just too big, too vast. Like I wasn't feeling it. But I did play all of them. Like every single Assassin's Creed I've played, it's just none of them stuck like Black Flag. For me.
No.
Now I will say I did very much enjoy Shadows though. I will say that I did enjoy Shadows.
Shadows was okay, the latest one. Okay, yeah. I was like, which one was Shadows? Okay, because I missed Shadows and I've missed Mirage. So
Mirage is on, and maybe this was the conversation that we had the other day. It's on, it's available now. Yeah. So
because I remember somebody had come out and was like, it's confirmed that we're getting the Black Flag remake in March, and I'm like, I'm scouring the internet. I still haven't found it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm like, wait,
exactly. Yeah, I can.
Where
I can find an article that says that, but I need like 30 to validate.
I need something. Like I need Ubisoft themselves to come out and go, your prayers have been heard. We're doing Black Flag remake. This is coming.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh no.
So
but I'm still holding out hope.
So Black Flag and Battlefield combo, I can see where that would be extremely memorable, especially a week before a console launch.
Yes.
Now, why do you think, we had a whole tangent about this, but when you think about now, why do you think midnights are not really a thing anymore? Or if they tried to be a thing, like they tried to do Black Ops 7, like why they just don't hit the same? Like why were they such a thing for us back then, and why are they not?
There's two things that I could throw this back to. One of them, we'll start with the software. Right now, it's that digital push, and I did not think that I would be guilty of this because I'm a physical collector. I love physical games, right? But I understand now. For some reason, I think because of the other thing, which was COVID and the push in softwares to be digital, like those two combined was the perfect recipe to kill midnight launches. For software, hardware is a different story. You put out a brand new console, I guarantee you they will turn up. The Switch 2 was a huge success. Like Switch 2 midnight launch was the rebirth of midnight launch.
Did you go get a Switch 2 at midnight?
I didn't. I missed it.
See, they didn't see where we're at. I mean, Kentucky, they didn't do any midnights.
They didn't do it for yours?
They just opened the mall store, and I had mine pre-ordered at a mall store, so they didn't open early. So I just had to go when the mall opened early. Yeah.
My buddies made it to the midnight out here for Stockton.
And it was awesome.
And it was insane. And I'm looking at it because at that point, I'm working overnights at one of my old jobs. So I was in San Jose working from 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. in the morning. And I'm like, I could totally call out for the Switch 2. But I'm not going to do it. And I also was guilty of waiting because I understood what happened with the first Switch. The first Switch, all those early adopters had to deal with certain issues like Joy-Con drift.
Right.
And so I didn't want to be that person because I'm always like a day one, right? I took the risk with the PS5 and the Xbox Series console. I took the risk.
I'm knocking on wood hardcore for you and myself because I was the same way.
Dude, well, I did. Well, you know what's terrible about those real quick is that for the PS5 and the Series X consoles, I bought them both off scalpers because during COVID, such a push. Everything was shut down. You couldn't get your consoles locked in quick enough.
Yep.
I missed my windows, and I ended up spending an extra $200 on a PS5 and an extra $100 on a Series X. I I couldn't care. I'm like, I need something.
And I will say, knocking on wood is for my PlayStation, because my Series X did go out. The network drive went out, and the fan went out, and it went out like a year and 2 months after, so it wasn't under warranty anymore. So now I just have a Series S, and I'm not about to pay the inflated price for a Series X.
Right.
So
that's another insane thing we could bring up later, right?
Oh my gosh.
No, I only ever had an issue with one console, and it was a Christmas gift. So I got the ROG Ally in 24. And so I plugged it in. I was so juiced. I got it out of the box. I plugged it in, and I tried to turn it on, and all of a sudden, I swear I could smell like the burnt battery. And I was like, what is going on here? And it cooked. My console cooked. And I was like, what is this? This is the only time my console ever like did anything out of the box, right? So I managed to get another ROG the next day on Christmas and got it fixed. It was fine. I was cool. But, you know, like with stuff like the Switch, and you have to deal with like the Joy-Con drifts and whatnot, I didn't want to take that risk with the Switch 2. And mind you, the only game that they had at the time for launch was Mario Kart World.
That's true.
And that's cool, but I wanted to wait until July when Donkey Kong Bonanza came out so I could get a couple games for my Switch too. So I waited until July when they were fresh in stock, when they had the second round of units already circulating. I got that. I got Donkey Kong. Probably one of my favorite games of last year. I was hooked.
Bonanza's good. It's another backlog that I got to go back to. But I did enjoy it for what it was. Like, it was
amazing.
I was super salty they didn't do Midnights for the Switch 2 out here.
That's sad, dude. They did it here. But back on your point for where we're at with Midnight releases, again, I feel like it was just a combo of those things. It was the push for digital, right? Because mind you, also where I'm at, our Midnights are 9 p.m.
Oh, now, yeah.
We changed it. We changed it to 9 p.m. to match. And I think it was because of games like Call of Duty, where if you're on the East Coast, you had a 3-hour head start on the West Coast. If you got it at midnight, we got it at midnight, you were locked in 3 hours early.
I always wondered that if they were at midnight or if you all did them earlier.
We ended up, I think we changed it because it was the same thing with midnight premieres for the movies. And this was happening, I think, late 2000s. That we stopped doing midnights for movies and then we started doing 9 p.m. for movies. But now we're just doing them a day early, right? We're just doing them Thursdays.
Well, and we talked about the movies. I'm pretty sure the Dark Knight Rises shooting in Aurora, Colorado is what triggered those times to change.
Really?
From well, because I had somebody that worked at a movie theater who had told me that when they did midnight releases for movies, basically once all the showings started, the theaters could stop paying all of their moonlighting officers. They'd send the bulk of the staff home and all that. So, because when that shooting happened in Aurora, there were no officers on site, and it was because everyone was in the theaters, so all their security were already sent home. So it was near then when the movies stopped showing at midnight and instead started showing at like 9. Or 8. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. Now they show on Thursday. They start showing it like noon
all day.
Right?
So like it's the movie theaters. I think they're next. The movie theaters are done. This deal that I believe Warner Brothers has with Netflix is still going through, and they're talking about you're gonna have like a 2-week lifespan inside a movie theater, and then it's gonna go straight to streaming.
It really breaks my heart.
It breaks my heart too, man. I think streaming is killing it. In both good and bad ways. But I always was that person that was like, I'm going to have the physical game. I'm going to have the box. I'm going to have the manuals. Like you have to have it. But I guess over the last couple of years, probably even because of COVID, I got lazy. I'll tell you, I got lazy. I wanted my software right then and there. And the Xbox Series X promoted that. That was one of the big things, is that you could have 6 different apps going at the same time. Quick resume is great.
Love it.
But killed it for physical media, because now I don't want to get off the couch. If I'm trying to boot up 2 different games, I switch on my Xbox between Fortnite and Arc Raiders. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to sit here and try to throw in a disc or anything. Like if I throw in a disc, there are games that I care about. So I'll still buy physical. I don't care so much for most of my games that I got even on a backlog are just games that I bought on the PlayStation year-end sale or Steam sales or Xbox sales. I'm like, $20 for a $70 game. I'll just get that and download it and just boot it up.
Every year I do that same thing. That's why my backlog's gotten so squirrely, because the sales or Game Pass or PS Plus stuff or whatever, and it just keeps adding to the daggone backlog.
Yep. So I think that's it. Software being digital, having it at 9 p.m. without having to be at the store. People want to get their XP boosts on. They want to get into the games. And a lot of it, too, are these content creators nowadays that want to be the first to show things, right? You want to be locked and loaded by 9 o'clock. You don't want to be at a GameStop. You want to be on stream, ready to start your playthrough of the game. So that way you're there for your audience. And like, I get it.
It's another way streaming has
in another way is streaming, right? But I mean that, and it is the COVID lockdowns, because I looked through my photos of my GameStop midnight launches as I was trying to come up with some of my talking points for your questions. And I'm like, man, I have so many memories here. I looked and I have so many pictures pre-COVID of like when we did the midnight launch for Jedi Fallen Order. We did it for the Spyro trilogy, Crash Racing. We did it for Pokemon Sword and Shield, Luigi's Mansion 3. We were at midnight launches for everything, right? And like for me and my wife, we dressed up like for Sword and Shield. I had her with the Pokemon badges, and I had I forget the monkey. Mine was the Sobble.
Oh yeah, Sableye.
Sobble is the water one, and she had that monkey on her, and I forget what it was. So look, I'll try to see if I can do this. But we had one of our GameStop employee buddies. Like that, you can see him on my shoulder. She's got the badges on her shoulder.
That's awesome.
And the monkey on her shoulder. We had the Pokeballs. This is when we did Luigi's Mansion 3 release. Right?
Oh, man.
Like we did. Oh, here's my Vegas run of Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, there you go, man.
Right. But like, we were there nonstop. Right. And like we had friends who were managers, assistant managers. And like it just became a vibe. Like hanging out at GameStop was a thing for us back then.
Well, and that goes that goes to what we said about how now, like I don't know anybody works at GameStop, but back then working at GameStop we had regulars, and that's what made it like a whole thing.
It was fun, right? It was a family, and like you kind of had that was like a guarantee if like, hey, dude, did you want to renew your membership? And like you don't have to give them the spiel.
Nope, you just ask the question, and they're like, oh yeah, cool, because they know you're not trying to just get something over on them. Like you're legitimately, caring about what they were into,
And that's something too, like when I heard you guys talking about your time at GameStop, I remember our push. Our store was one of the top performing stores out here in Manteca. And so when I was there, they made it was bad, right? Like you had to have 50% pre-order pushes at the end of the month. You had to have certain pushes, or like they came down on you. They came down on your staff. It was terrible. And like you feel sometimes like a jackass when you do it. And I remember like I think it was when Gotham Knight was coming out, and like I had to do these pushes, and I kind of got, I got put on blast for like, hey dude, like stop trying to sell me. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm not like, I'm only here like, hey, did you want to pre-order anything else while you're here? Like, I don't want to hear your salesman bullshit. I just want my game. Like, and I've heard that so many times. I'm like, dude, like this sucks.
Yeah,
it sucked because when people shopped at GameStop when I was there, I'm trying to being hospitable, and I'm trying to do it, but I'm also trying to help the company out, right? So,
well, I'm trying to do my job. The company starts bringing the gavel down,
That's right, and like I was just caught in the crosshairs, right? So I'm over here trying to help them out, and I'm like, hey, dude, I know like you want this game brand new. Let me get it to you pre-owned. I don't care. Like, just take it for the week, bring it back, get your full money back. Fuck this place.
Buy the used game, 7 days. Right, full. Yep.
Come back, get your full refund, put it to a brand new game that you actually want.
Exactly.
And like, I tried so hard to just help the customers at that point. I was so disenfranchised, I think, by the end of my year run at GameStop. I'm like, what are we doing? It was like power to the players.
No, deuces. That's how it was like too.
So yeah.
All right. So in general, a lot of these core memories come from a very specific era, and it's really around the 2000s. So I think you already answered this question, but in general, what is your favorite game or game series from the 2000s era?
Oh, it'd have to be this little beauty right here. Kingdom Hearts 2.
I thought that's what it was going to be.
Absolutely favorite game from the 2000s. If you look at my little CRT setup, I actually have a lot of my old consoles, my Nintendo, Super Nintendo, PS1, PS2. I still get to play games the original format here. I got my PS2 setup. I got Kingdom Hearts 2 in there. I was just reliving my love for Kingdom Hearts this year. it's my annual refresh from my love of the franchise, right? But
well, you will be glad to know that my buddy and his wife are big Disney fans, and they have never played Kingdom Hearts. Now, you may say it's blasphemous, but I told them to go online, find a 3 or 4.5 hour long recap of pre Kingdom Hearts 3, and then to play Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm hoping they're gonna get it done in like the first quarter, but
hey, if they listen to the podcast, follow through.
Yeah,
follow through.
That's what we ought to do. We just need to have you come and get the whole lore out of the way. You know,
yeah, follow through on it. It's absolutely awesome. No, Kingdom Hearts 2 dominates. I mean, it's probably not even this version. It's the one that I imported from Japan. It'd be Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix because they added the extra cutscenes, the extra boss battles. I mean, vanilla Kingdom Hearts 2 will be my favorite, but Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix is probably my favorite 2000s era game. The series is one of my all-time favorite series. I know I'm all covered up in my jacket, but hold on here, buddy. We'll see.
Uh-oh.
I know. We're whipping it out here, bud. But I got my King Mickey.
Oh, man.
And then on this side, I got my Palpu fruit. My wife and I have a matching Kingdom Hearts tattoo. Like, it's...
Oh, I love it.
All tatted up for Kingdom Hearts, buddy. It's my favorite franchise. So.
Outstanding. Yeah, I had a hunch at the start of this. I was like, well, when we get to that question, we know what the answer to that is.
Right?
Well, so the last question I have and it's not tied to midnight releases, but there's not a Kingdom Hearts game coming out this year. So what is your most anticipated game of 2026?
This is where I'm going to make it fun for you. So the easiest answer, of course, everyone's going to say Grand Theft Auto 6.
Right.
So let's just say, aside from Grand Theft Auto 6.
That's what I always say. That's always my response. Outside of GTA 6.
Instead of Grand Theft Auto 6, what's your most anticipated? So I'm going to answer your question by giving you my top 5 favorite franchises. And I'm going to let you tell me what my most anticipated release of 2026
I'm really bad at this, if you've heard on the podcast, but I'm going to try.
Oh, it's good. I guarantee you by my last favorite franchise, you're going to get it. So my first one, and it's in no particular order except for maybe the first one. My first is Kingdom Hearts, favorite franchise. But then we got Final Fantasy.
Okay.
Then we got Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay.
Then we got Metal Gear Solid. And my last favorite franchise is Resident Evil.
Oh, so Requiem. Hands down, Requiem.
That's it. Hands down, Resident Evil Requiem. Next month is my most anticipated game this year, unless you pull some surprise out. Like, at this point, from what we know so far, dude, Resident Evil 9.
How fired up were you when... I mean, I'm sure you saw the leak before the trailer, but when you saw the Leon trailer?
Oh, I was juiced. I did see the leak before the Leon trailer, but I had a feeling that it had to be Leon because, so let me go back a little bit further. We did that. There's a game event that they showed off the Capcom like 30th anniversary, and then they did a trailer. When they showed off the first bit, and like it was Grace when she was doing her interviews, and I was like, okay, this looks like a Resident Evil. Could it be Resident Evil? I don't know. And then they did the bit where it showed the crater, and then it showed the destroyed RPD, and I was like, is that Raccoon City? I'm like, we're going back. It's Resident Evil 9. Like,
that's the same one I saw where I was like, okay, who are we gonna get? Are we gonna get Leon? Are we gonna get Claire? Like, who are we bringing back? You know, so I was kind of disappointed that I saw the leak ahead of the trailer because I feel that would have been. If it wouldn't have leaked,
better just get it.
That would have been more impactful at the Game Awards to show Leon.
Right.
But everyone already knew because Sony decided to put it on the daggone store too early.
Showed off Chris Redfield going kind of anti-hero. And then I'm like, man, we need to have Leon back. We need Leon. So what was that? Was that a Jeff Keighley event too that showed off the premiere? It was the Jeff Keighley event.
I don't think it was Summer Game Fest.
Was it Summer Game Fest?
I think so. The very first time
showed off Requiem.
I think so.
Oh my God, yeah, dude. When they showed off that trailer, and once we got RPD, oh my God. Like,
and I will say, that's one thing that I will give props to Capcom for. That I think a lot of developers keep screwing up. We got that unveiled like summer of last year, maybe a little before then, and maybe it wasn't, but nonetheless.
It was probably a little later, but we got it pretty quick.
But nonetheless, it got announced last year, and we are getting it this year. You know, it's not like some of these games that get announced 15 years ago, like Fable. You know, we're about to hear more about Fable in a couple weeks, but I mean, that was first unveiled how many years ago? You know.
Hey, I'm starting to feel for the Elder Scrolls fans.
Yeah.
Y'all almost had us Kingdom Hearts fans. Like I said, if you were a 2 to 3, you were waiting from 2006 to 2019. But if you're a real one, you knew it was only 6 years between, 2013 to 2019. But I get waiting a long time. I felt it for the Duke Nukem fans.
Hey, man, now I would love a new Duke Nukem, but I feel Duke Nukem as a game. This is going to be a really weird comparison, but hear me out. I feel there are two things that were super successful back in the 2000s era or before. That if released now in the exact same context and format, unfortunately, with the way the world is, would not go well. Duke Nukem as a game is one of them.
Yep.
And then the Rush Hour movies.
We're getting another one.
I know, but I'm gonna be very curious if it sticks with the same, because I love those movies and I watch them all the time. But I feel if they were made in the exact same context today, it would not go as well. But
I think I'd even level up and say Tropic Thunder couldn't be made today.
No, I agree. You know,
Tropic Thunder couldn't be made today.
You know, it's funny you say that. I saw a TikTok the other day where someone said that Marvel has an opportunity to do something really great in Doomsday, where if Deadpool were to show up and see Doctor Doom, and Doctor Doom takes his mask off and he looks at him and says, "Are you a dude playing a dude, acting like another dude?" You know. And I was like, that would be really funny. Like, that would be really good.
You know what? Deadpool can do that, though. They can get away with that. If they do, they can get away with that. And let me tell you real quick to kind of segue that the marketing for Doomsday's got me actually very excited. Very excited. They're doing it right.
Yeah, we'll have they've been releasing the trailers teasers, on Mondays. Like they've been in theaters this whole past week, but on Mondays, because that's when we got the X-Men, was last Monday. So I guess the Black Panther Wakanda one will drop tomorrow.
And then we got one more after that, I think, the Fantastic Four, right? Because that sucks that those leak early, so everyone talks about it before it drops. Like, I think if they would have not known until the morning of about the X-Men one and gave us our first look at Cyclops like that.
I made it a point. I didn't watch any of that stuff that I saw, even though it was leaked, because I wanted to wait and watch that in its glory. You know?
Yeah. Well, I saw the Captain America one, and I thought, okay, well, that's weird. That's what they showed off in the theaters, right? And I was like, yeah, that's not really it, whatever. And then someone's like, oh, here's the Thor one. I'm like, okay, now we're getting like AI. I don't know. And then Marvel did release the Thor one. I was like, oh, that's real. Right. And then someone's like, oh, here's the X-Men. I'm like, no, hold on. Yep. Nope, we're going to wait. And then Marvel dropped the X-Men. I'm like, okay. Good marketing, Marvel, because Phase 4 and 5, I could go on about this too. Phase 4 and 5 just kind of lost me. You had a couple hits. But I think once Endgame, and not even Endgame, really, I think after No Way Home, after No Way Home was wrapped up, I felt like that was the end of an era for Marvel. That one wrapped it up really, good. But
what's really funny is my mom actually brought up, hey, you all should do an episode about the MCU. And I was like, yeah, but see, we're talking about like things that are nostalgic and older and da-da-da-da. And she said, yeah, but when did Iron Man start? And it started in 2007, the year I graduated high school, which a lot of things we've talked about is in that era. So I'm like, well, I guess we got to talk about the MCU then.
So you know what? Your mom's actually got a point.
Yeah.
She got a very valid point.
Very, very smart woman. Like, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree. We could actually do that. The first 3 phases of Marvel are best. You know what? Even like Guardians of the Galaxy is one of my favorite trilogies, right? And that's the thing too. I guess was Phase 4 with getting Thor Ragnarok, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Wakanda Forever, and you're just kind of seeing like the aftermath of everything after like the big story's done. I was like, damn, that really doesn't feel like anything's connecting here.
Exactly.
Right? It just felt weird.
That right there was my issue, was not seeing the threads at any capacity, really.
Nothing. There was no goal that we were getting to. There's no Infinity Stones that you got to worry about. And then they kind of disrespected it. Like with Loki. Right? With Loki, the very first episode of Loki, and they treated the Infinity Stones as paperweights. And I'm like, oh, damn, dude. Like, come on now. And then they try to talk up King, and that didn't work out, both on screen and behind the scenes with Jonathan Young, which, I mean, it was very sad that it played out the way it did. But, you know, like, even it kind of happened with James Gunn and Disney and Marvel, you know, when people brought up cancel culture really killed a lot of, you know.
They brought the gavel down, and then they brought him right back, and then he finished it, and then he went to DC, so it didn't matter anymore.
Yeah, but like, and then Jonathan got put on the cancel culture. Like, everybody's, once cancel culture is a thing, dude, that killed it too. Like, it's been a crazy last couple of years. But,
you ain't kidding. Know,
you derailed the Kang storyline, so you had to come in and fix it. Like, I'll give them this. The last year of Marvel movies, mainly Fantastic Four first steps, I did really enjoy Fantastic Four. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. And I think the family dynamic really worked. As Marvel's first family, they did it right. The casting was great. Storyline was great. And now, like, because it came out after I'd had my son, like, I think I had a little bit extra, you know, skin in the game with this story. I was like, you know what? You know, I'm more invested in it now. Well,
and that was really the first time we started to see the direction that we're heading, you know, with the post-credit scene, because nothing else really had anything. Like,
no, they were just throwaway scenes, like just little, what was the Shang-Chi one? Like, okay, no, they did try to tie on some stuff, like Eternals tried to do something with Blade, which never took off.
Right.
And they tried to do something like the Eternals aren't even coming back, I hear.
Nope.
You got the She-Hulk series, that one was whatever.
Daredevil. She-Hulk's not coming back either. So now I do love Daredevil. And I'm
the
hyped
Daredevil show is fantastic. But for me, like, watching Daredevil Born Again doesn't feel like a Marvel MCU thing. It feels like the Netflix story continuing. And I'm like, this feels like a different Marvel project. It's still different, right? But it's weird.
It is.
You know, it's weird.
It is. Oh, man. Well, all right. So Halo 2, midnight release, same as mine, which was hysterical to hear that. Plus a cool Pokemon story. We talked about Assassin's Creed Black Flag and Battlefield 4 launching console launch titles, which was outstanding. We're all on the same page about Midnight's not being a thing anymore. COVID, digital lifestyle, like that just, it kind of checks out. Kingdom Hearts, very good plug on Kingdom Hearts 2. So this is just going to help me reiterate to my friend Brian and Laura to play this game.
Just have me on.
Yeah, there we go.
Have us on together.
Bring us
both on the show at the same time. I can do it. I can convince them.
Perfect. and then our most anticipated of 26, you're getting early because it's next month, Resident Evil Requiem.
I'm so happy. Like I said, there's really nothing else going into this year that I can just think that they got. Right?
Now, do you have that pre-ordered physically, or did you pre-order it digitally?
I don't even have a pre-order locked in yet. That's the killer. I don't have it yet. And I want so bad to do the collector's edition. But at the same time, I don't, because I've learned the hard way that it doesn't do anything to have the collector's editions for me. I don't have room for it. Like, I see you have your Last of Us Part 2. I used to have Resident Evil 2's collector's edition. I used to have my Leon statue. I used to have my Kratos and Atreus statue, and I had those like pre-ordered the collector's edition.
I do still have Kratos and Atreus over
You do, huh?
Yep.
So, like, they were cool. I loved it, right? But it got to a point now where sometimes I needed money. Sometimes I fluctuate. Sometimes those are the first things that go, right? Because I can at least get money for them. So, like, it hurts too much to have them as a centerpiece, and then they gotta go. Right.
Yep.
And then I need the money, and then they're gone, and like, because those will be the first things I grab. And I think that's part of why I even made the jump to digital too, is because if I buy the physical version of the game and I need cash, I'm just gonna trade it in, get my $30 from GameStop.
And digital, you'll have it, and
forever.
And it can, you can finish it, and then it's always there to go back and finish later.
Right.
I will say that's a big thing with me, because I was always trading stuff in, and then I'd want to play it, and I ended up buying it again. So now,
and then you feel dumb, right? Yeah. That's me though. Like, I feel dumb. Like, why would I do it again? I just bought it full price, and then I get the itch for it 6 months later, and I'm gonna buy it probably still close to the full price.
Exactly.
It's like, dude, I can't do this.
Yeah. Oh man.
Killer.
Well, Tim, my man, we've had a great time. And I'm glad that we got to get together and do this and talk through some midnight memories, go down some rabbit holes. Literally, this is just like me and Austin having a conversation, which is great because it allows us to get into all kinds of different things. So I very much appreciate it. It's been a great time talking with you on here, and we're going to keep doing these. Now, from a perspective of the podcast itself, we may have some other creators on here as well. But like I said, if I have my way about it, Tim and I are going to be getting together more often to go through more episodes. That being said, Tim, do you want to kind of, I call these shameless plugs, but go ahead and drop in kind of where folks can find the Small Time Arcade on social media?
Oh, man. Well, you can find me on TikTok at Small Time Arcade Cast. I feel like I changed my name on a lot of these things, but Small Time Arcade Cast on TikTok. I'm at Small Time Gaming 91 on Twitter. You can find me on YouTube under the Small Time Arcade. But hopefully you'll be able to catch me here on the midnight release for future installments. I love being here. Chase, thank you for having me on your show. I love your guys' content. Austin, if you made it this far to the end, if I see you on podcast, we got beef from the very first episode. So we got to squash that when you disrespect Halo ODST.
I support it. I told him, I was like, I got beef with Austin all the time, so it's okay.
But I mean, thank you again. I loved it. I love this conversation. So here's to a beautiful year for your show. Let's keep growing it. I'll catch you guys soon.
Hey, I appreciate you. And you know what? You said toast. Like, I know you've got a beverage there. I've got a beverage. So
I do.
We'll do a toast. We'll do a toast. And then I have to say my little tagline. So you all who have decided to watch and or listen, because if you decided to watch, this is the first video podcast that the Midnight Release has done. But regardless, thank you for hanging out with us, because some memories are worth lining up for. Okay, well, so that was our first 0.5 episode. Probably feels weird coming in here to have this discussion after the, epic line quote that I always do at the end with the little fade out transition. But I wanted to come here just to say thank you for taking the time to watch or listen to this 0.5. Be sure and give a like, a follow, a subscribe, all of the things that exist as it relates to the Midnight Release podcast, also the Small Time Arcade Cast on TikTok and other platforms. And if you are a creator and you are listening or watching this and it's something that you would be interested in, please reach out to me. I'm going to be reaching out to other creators myself. But in the meantime, if it's something that catches your attention, if you like the vibe, the discussion, let me know. You can get to us at TikTok, on YouTube, also the Midnight Release Pod at gmail.com. And really, again, thank you for taking the time to listen to this today or watch this today. And since I kind of jacked up my outro by coming here to have this wrap-up conversation, I feel that it is necessary for me to say it again. Some memories are worth lining up for. We'll see you. Appreciate it.